Retro Ghetto.
Hi everybody, welcome back to the Retro Ghetto. And as you can see, I am on the road again. But this time, I'm going to my first car boot sale. Not just of 2023, but the first one in years. I don't think I've been to a car boot in 2 or 3 years for various different reasons. I never have much luck. I always feel disgruntled when I find 199p game after getting out of my bed at 5:30 on a Sunday morning to walk around a wet field. And because I find so much good stuff in charity shops, it just never really appeals to me to get up that early, go out in what is inevitably a very wet, windy and grey day, as it is today. In April in the UK, it's either glorious sunshine or this. However, the planets have aligned today. I was lying in bed, little man woke up early, so it's better getting woken up by your children than your alarm, to some extent, right? It feels less self-inflicted. And I was flicking through my phone, and I saw there was a car boot that I wasn't aware was only 25 minutes away from me. I thought the nearest one was 40 minutes. I don't know if this one's relatively new. It had really good reviews, clean, good toilets, good parking, etc. And also it says it started at 7:30, which to me, I was like, okay, I could potentially jump up, have a quick shower, get out of the house and go. So I'm sitting here with my cup of tea next to me. We are on the way to my first car boot in years. As I say, the planets do seem to have aligned. Let's see if today can change my perception on car boot sales. Let's see if we can go there, find something, it feel worthwhile, getting out of my bed. Let's go and have a look. Right, stop number 2, getting cash out. Not the most organised, right? I don't want my balance, I want cash. Already leaving, look, as I'm getting here. Oh, look at this beautiful weather. I'm glad I've got my nice trainers on. Oh, lovely. Looks like a washout, bro. Not a good sign. Okay, so I've made it. Typically for me, car boots have been a disaster. I got to the one I intended to go to. My fault, I rang the number, couldn't see anything there, they said it don't open until next week, so Google was lying to me, so make sure you always double check in, right? And then they said there was one 10 minutes away. I'm here now, and this is it. Chances of finding anything is slim, but we're here now. Let's have a look. Right, pal. You got any video games, mate, or is it just DVDs and stuff? Yeah. Alright, thank you, mate. What's this? Oh, wow. Looks comfy. Least favourite child can grab that one, can't they? Yeah. Perfect. Alright, thank you, love. And we are back in the 3.0 after what was, I think, safe to say, an uninspiring car boot. I'll be giving my thoughts on today's car boot and more importantly car boots generally after we look at my pickups, because yes, I did manage to find a couple of things that I wanted to add to my collection. And let me tell you, there's a big difference between coming home with a little bit of something and a whole lot of nothing. The first thing that I found was actually a game. There was a lady there that was selling a few video games and she actually wanted £3 each for these. And that's exactly where CEX was on this game that I wanted. But as soon as I saw this, I knew I had to have it for my collection. And that was Burnout 2 Point of Impact. Developed by Criterion Games, this 2002 arcade racer is of course the sequel to 2001's Burnout, and actually the last Burnout game in the series to be published by Acclaim, as they declared themselves bankrupt in 2004. Subsequent releases were published by Electronic Arts. I'm a huge fan of arcade racers and the Burnout series in particular. With this one I really enjoy the crash mode. You have to set up a crash, and the more damage that you're able to inflict within that one crash, the more points you're able to earn. Really fun and something different to the racing arcade genre. So with me already owning the original Burnout and Burnout 3, this was a really nice addition to my collection. CEX sold this one for £3 and I was able to negotiate with the lady on her store and I was able to pick this up for £2 and yeah, I was happy with that. My only other pickup of the day came on the last store that I came across, and it was a small tub of slime. Yes, kids enjoy slime. I bought this one home for Retro Ghetto Jr. He was absolutely delighted and I quote, "the best day ever." So yeah, at least one of us came home happy. Retro Ghetto. Right, the million-dollar question. Has today's car boot changed my perception of car boots going forwards? Absolutely, unequivocally no. However, I'm not going to be foolish enough to judge all car boots based on one rainy April morning where, because of the weather, there wasn't a great turnout in terms of buyers or sellers. However, it is very indicative of my experiences with car boots as of late. As I say, I've not really been going much for the last 2 or 3 years because of days like today. It seems to be a big upheaval to get out of bed early in the morning and go and walk around the field when you're coming back with one cheap video game, and ultimately it cost me more in fuel and entry than it would have done to buy that game from CEX or anywhere else. The thing is, ultimately, you're only ever one car boot or one find away from your whole perception being changed of car boot sales. And I think that's what keeps people getting out of bed in the morning. That what if, that remember when I found this story. If I'd have found Rule of Rose today, for example, sat amongst them pile of games, I'd be sitting here now with a very different perception of car boots, making a very different video. I have had good finds in the past. I previously found a WWF Hasbro wrestling ring that was just 50p. I've also found a boxed Mega Drive 2 with games for £8, and that's actually still the Mega Drive 2 which I use to this day. So there are good games out there are good finds out there, but for me personally, I think because I have so much success within charity shops, it kind of doesn't leave me hungry to get up on a Sunday morning and go and walk around car boots in the hope that I might or might not find something in what is a very competitive market. With charity shops, I can do it at my own leisure. I can go any time of the day that suits me. I can take the family to a nice town we've not been to before. We can incorporate a day out. We can go to a park. We can go and have a coffee. We can have something to eat, etc. Whereas with a car boot sale, largely what's there is there, and if you don't find anything, you don't find anything. You might be lucky enough to have 2 car boots within a certain vicinity to yourself, but chances are you're going to one. If you don't find anything, it's a washout, sometimes quite literally. There are other sides of car boots which I completely understand that people enjoy. I think there's a social side of it. When I see guys like the Toy Division guys that go with 2 or 3 like-minded friends and they go for the hangs and the enjoyment as much as anything else, I get that. Me personally, I'm a bit of a lone wolf when it comes to hunting for things and hunting for games. I like to do things at my own pace, which is often at 100 miles an hour. I like to walk to and from the same stores 10 times over, film as and when needed, and that's why I like to do things on my own. However, I do get the social side of it. I do understand that for a lot of people it's about blowing off the cobwebs on a Sunday morning, taking the kids out, taking the dog for a walk, whatever it may be. However, for me personally, if I get out of my bed on a Sunday morning, go out in terrible weather, I want to be coming home with something that makes it worthwhile. And more often than not, I don't. More so than I think any other video I've ever put out, I really want to hear from you guys. I am by no means an expert when it comes to car boot hunting. There's so much that I need to learn and want to know from you people that go and frequent them quite regularly. How much money do you take? Do you go all year round, or do you only go when the weather's nice? And what are some of the best finds that you guys have had? Let me know in the comments. Inspire me to go again. Also, let me know if you want to see me try again. If you want to see me go a little bit later in the year when the weather's better and there's clearly more stalls and more people there, we'll see if we can go again and maybe have a bit of better luck. Ultimately, in conclusion, I hear throughout social media and YouTube in particular, people saying that you can't find any good stuff in charity shops. Yeah, I disprove that theory week in, week out on my vlogs. And I'm sure that's the case with car boots. I'm not going to sit here and tell you guys that you can't find anything at car boot sales, because I'm sure you can. And I see it regularly on a Sunday lunchtime as I enviously scroll through my phone and find all the amazing things that people have had from these different car boot sales across the country. However, I just don't seem to have the luck that other people do. But again, let me know in the comments if it's not about luck. If you should be going to certain boot sales over others and you should only be going at certain times of the year. I need to know so I'm better equipped for the next time that I go out. As always, thank you very much for taking the time to watch. Play your games, keep it retro. I'll see you on a Sunday. Take care.
Retro Ghetto.